2, 1. Release, release, release.
Wow.
Ignition. Good rocket motor burn.
Wow. Rocket
There's
launching.
1. Trimming now.
Awesome. Wow, so beautiful. Wow.
Trim complete. Unity is pointed directly up and heading to space. Things are looking great. We are 25
Wow.
seconds into the burn now, approaching Mach 2.
Wow.
30 seconds, Mach 2.
Wow.
Everything's looking really good and stable. 40 seconds.
Katie, she's throwing out terms like
Me, Aruna, I'm saying hi.
Tell us again.
Aruna is saying hi to everyone. All the best. Have fun.
So they're just about to cut off the engine and they'll be weightless. There's not.
Be safe.
5 seconds. 80 and 60 seconds.
Wow.
They're weightless, climbing. Look at the altitude on the right-hand side. 175.
And as soon as they do that, it's going to initiate a fast flipper station.
Wow.
You want those windows pointed down towards the earth to maximize that incredible view.
So
They're weightless now, but more important, they have the view.
Yes, so
Wow.
they're weightless, and they've been told they can unstrap, and the plane is going to angle itself so that they can look out the window back
Wow.
at planet Earth from what is technically space. Do I have that right, Katie?
You do. And I don't know, there was some talk about how many miles, when you have that view, it just doesn't matter. It's a special place to be.
You have described having that view as transformational, something that changes a person. How so exactly in your experience?
Wow, this is Aruna. I'm so proud of you all.
Except for this 6 or 7 on the space station and you up in space, 2 pilots, 4 crewmen, 4 astronauts up in space on Virgin Galactic. Everyone else, all the Earthlings are back on Earth. It's our planet. We all live there. And it's just something you can't unsee.
It's a kind of perspective that I imagine gets its way into your molecules, where you get a sense that, as Carl Sagan once described, we live on a pale blue dot in an infinite universe, and it gives you, I would imagine, an enormous amount of perspective on human life.
I'm sure of it, and I know we talk a lot about the billionaire space race, and at the same time, these are folks of resources and means, and I think that they have an honest intent to make sure that real people get to have that perspective. It was amazing for me just to watch the rocket light, where I've watched rocket launches, and I didn't think I'd be so emotionally involved. In this one, it's not a shuttle, it's not a Soyuz, but when a rocket is lighting and people are on board, it's just such a big deal, and it was awesome to watch.
Let's bring in ABC's Gio Benitez as we watch these live pictures now. They're a little shaky, but they're live pictures of Richard Branson and his fellow passengers strapping out of their chairs, unstrapping, and one would presume they're floating around there weightless inside the spaceship.
Absolutely weightless.
So, Gio, can you give us a sense, given your beat here where you cover transportation issues, how much work has gone into this on the part of Richard Branson and, I would imagine, a large team?
I mean, hundreds of engineers, Dan, have been behind this, and this is 17 years of work. 17 years of work to make this moment happen, and, he made history right now as the first person ever to go to space aboard his own spaceship. That has never happened before. It has happened today, and we are seeing it live. But really just an incredible moment to watch this airborne blast off, right? Because this was a blast off from 50,000 feet above the surface. This was not a blast off like we typically see from the surface, which is just a rocket with that capsule above it lifting off into space. This is actually an airborne blast off, and it was really spectacular to see that because I personally hadn't seen that before. We've been covering a lot of the SpaceX launches because those need a very powerful rocket because you are taking those capsules to the International Space Station, 250 miles above Earth. It is a much farther thing. So this is not going to go all the way there, obviously, but we are watching some incredible images there.
And on the right of your screen, you're watching a replay of the aerial blast-off that Gio was talking about. We should say that what's happening now, we're told, on the spaceship in real time is that the passengers are strapping back into their seats. This is a rather quick experience, and then they will be landing that spacecraft shortly. Gio, do I have that correct? And what else to add about the timeline from here?
Yeah, so it's going to take a few minutes to get back down, but it is going to go pretty fast. And that's what we also see when rockets detach during other launches. We see that they return to Earth rather quickly. That's what's going to be happening here as well. And this is also, by the way, a very dangerous part of the mission, an incredibly dangerous part. So we're watching this closely here. But they will eventually go ahead and be landing right where we are at Spaceport America. And I can see now it looks like parachutes have deployed. Is that what's happened here? We have a lot of people who are excited here watching this feed, but it's all looking clean right now. And thankfully, the weather cooperated because, Dan, one of the things that happened earlier today is that they actually delayed this launch by about 90 minutes because the winds overnight were just too intense, so they couldn't move the ships out to where they needed to be. And look at that. We are seeing now those live pictures inside that cabin.
Katie Coleman, former astronaut from NASA, give us a sense of why the return, as Gio indicated, is the most precarious part of a space mission.
Well, I won't say the worst. It's great to see the crew inside the cabin there, just so happy to be in each other's company.
Yeah.
But we don't have a lot of control on the way down. You might have noticed that, when the ship first launched off from the mothership, the wings were back, and then as they reached 0G, they basically brought those wings straight up, and they act almost like a feathercock, like a badminton, just putting out more surface area in a different direction so that they can slow down. And then once they're down, really just coming in for a landing, those wings come back down and streamline. So there's a lot going on mechanically, and also they don't have engines now. They're a glider coming back, so they do have a lot of control with their jets that are firing using compressed air, but it's definitely, you're going to come down on the Earth. You just want it to be the way it was supposed to be.
Let's listen now to a little bit more of the commentary from the live feed from Virgin Galactic.
30,000 feet.
Wow.
That's airplane.
All right, folks, again, sorry we're not getting that transmission through the live broadcast, but again, we do have lots of recording devices aboard the spaceship, and we will be sure to release some footage of Richard and the crew up there.